Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Medina Farms. I think it was like Thursday we got hammered with snow, just kind of like overnight. So I didn't quite get everything done that I would have liked to, but I don't think the snow is going to last because the ground is not frozen. It's still, actually it's quite muddy under the snow, unfortunately. But we got hammered. We got, I don't know, 6 or 8 inches, and I guess it's supposed to snow. Get this door here. It's supposed to snow until tomorrow evening or something. I don't know. But like all the rest of the day, all night until tomorrow evening is what they told me. But I did get, I think, most of the critical stuff done. I got the hydrant replaced. Fortunately, that was like the evening before the snowstorm. We got the hydrant done and bam, woke up and it was white. But got the old hydrant is out. You can see it's got a big bow in it right here. And it was spraying water right here. And I had put this kind of like a sealing tape on there. It was 4 water lines, and you wrap it on there and then put a torch, run a torch over it, and it melts. And it still didn't stop it from leaking. It was still squirting out from the top and bottom of the tape. But anyways, this is the new hydrant right here. And I got this one from Home Depot. I don't know if that was any better than Tractor Supply. We'll see how long it lasts, I guess. It seems to be nice. As long as I remember to keep the levers shut, should be alright. Inshallah. It's very beautiful scenery. Not really fun to be out in, but definitely really nice to sit in the kitchen window next to the wood stove and have a cup of tea and just sit there and look out the windows. It's a really great thing to do this time of year. The other thing is I didn't get my sprinklers out of there, and I think there's some hose in the corn patch over there. Well, I'm still gonna have to get that up, but I guess according to what they said, next week it's going to be back in the 40s, so it's going to be a good chance that most of the snow would be gone. But last night it got down below 20, and I brought the goats in the barn, and my brother was, they would have been all right. You just brought them in too quick. Now you're going to be cleaning out barns all winter. But ideally I would have liked to wait until maybe December, but I didn't have a good shelter. They were like up under the brush in a huddle under there. They probably would have been all right, but I just felt sorry for them, and it's easier for me feeding if I don't have to feed outside because it's really windy. Other thing, I did get my insulation on my tank because as cold as it was, pretty much all the water that was outside froze. But I got this insulation put up on here. I used this last year as well, and it never froze solid as long as I keep the barn doors shut. And I got it insulated all the way around. And my plan was to get a heater and like, I don't know, propane or something, maybe a diesel heater. But one of the nights you know, then I can just set a heater underneath here, and hopefully with the insulation and everything wrapped around there, it will keep it from freezing. But like I said, last year what I did, let it get over halfway full of water, which can be hard because you get a warm day and the snow starts melting and it fills up almost as fast as if it had rained. But if it got over halfway full, I just run some of it out on the ground. Like, I wouldn't take a chance of it filling up with water and freezing and then busting open. And for the most part, it was never frozen hard. I could open the lid and put a stick in there and tap the ice down and get water every time. There was a couple times, like in last part of January, it was like 15 for 10 days in a row, and then it was frozen solid. But it was only 6 or 8 inches of ice in the bottom of it at that point. So I just didn't try opening the lever. I moved it gently, and I could see it was resisting, and so I just left it alone, and it worked fine. So main thing, just trying to keep these doors shut so there's no wind blowing on it. And I think last year I stacked straw bales around it too, so I'm going to try to do that again and maybe recover it with tarp or something, just to help keep the wind from blowing in on it. That is the awsome, so I'm going to have to go make Zohor, and I'll get back with you. So basically, I just got done with chores for the evening. And I guess I'm not sure if you can see really, but I just thought I'd tell you a little story about the worst winter water story ever. This was probably 5 or 6 years ago now, but we had one of the horses somehow had reached in there. It was before this. I had this barrier built around this, but they had broke the handle off of that hydrant, so it didn't work anymore. And not only that, it froze. So when you'd try to pull the lever up, it was stripped out, and it wouldn't pull that brass rod up. And it was like, January, and there was absolutely no, the ground was frozen hard as a brick. There was no way, we were going to dig that up. And so, long story short, we ended up having to go to Mom's. She lives a quarter of a mile from here. So we would have to go to Mom's and haul water, and we were hauling about 20 gallons with the team and the forecart and the trailer. We're hauling about 20 gallons every other day, and it was just bitter cold, windy, and it seemed like we just never had enough water. And it was really made you think twice about why in the world do we live like this. But the good thing was, it also made me expand or come up with more ideas on how to get through times like that. And right now I feel like if I can get through that, as bad as that was, then we can get through anything. Because that was just seemed like all you had time to do was feed and haul water every single day, and then you had to come up with firewood, and it just seemed like there was no rest, and it was just bitter cold. But that was one of the reasons why I decided to put this water system here in as an alternate source of water if that should ever happen again, where my hydrant busted or broke. Then I still collect quite a bit of rainwater from here, and I can keep it heated and still have another source of running water for the animals. So that was a lesson in that. But yeah, it definitely could be worse. And that's really what made me jump on board with getting that hydrant fixed. And I'm so glad I got it done before it got bad. It was just in time, like the very last day to the minute. I wanted to show you guys one last thing. This is my room. But one last thing that I'm doing to prepare for the winter is I've put plastic in all the windows. And believe it or not, I've noticed like I would say 10%. I would say a 10% difference since I've put the plastic in, like immediately. For example, when I did that window, I turned the heater on because it gets a little chilly back here, especially when it's like 20 degrees or below. The stove isn't quite enough, like because it's so far at that end of the house to blow the heat back here. I just have to have a little heater in my room as well at night. And when I put that plastic up, just with turning the heater on, I could instantly feel like I started feeling too hot. Like, wow, I gotta turn this heat down, it's getting hot. So I just thought that makes a big difference. I always kind of thought the windows looked a bit tacky, but the trade-off was definitely, you know, I noticed right away this room, I would say is 10% more easily heated with plastic over the windows. So that is so far how I've prepared for winter, and curious to see what are some things you guys do around your place to get ready. Let me know. Until next time, salam.